Hey guys, Dan Capini. We're at the Activision booth. I've got Steve Vanderschmidt. He is the executive producer on the True Crime series, and you're running us through some content today. Steve, thank you very much. And tell us about the True Crime. Why is now the right time to reboot this franchise that's been missing for so long?
Yeah. Well, I think there's always been a desire to reboot the franchise, but it was just waiting for the perfect time or opportunity to do it. And so when we found the perfect location, we found the perfect developer, and we found the perfect story, we thought, okay, no time like the present to get it done.
And you mentioned perfect location. We just saw a demo of the game and your reasons for selecting it. Run the guys at home through why you've chosen Hong Kong for the setting of True Crime.
Hey. I think the most important thing is we were very heavily influenced by Hong Kong cinema action movies, and we were really looking to take the open world gamer to somewhere that they hadn't been before. And from that perspective alone, Hong Kong just made perfect sense. And the more we started looking into it, and you look at the different sort of the wide architectural range that Hong Kong has, you got a lot of areas down by the docks. You've got this great commercial central area with Soho and some narrow streets. You've got night markets and things like that. So just the range of gameplay that we thought we could get out of it would be excellent. And for that reason, we went to Hong Kong.
Can you give us some examples of the gameplay and how it will differentiate the different parts of the city?
Sure. There's North Point, for example, is modeled very much after Mong Kok, which is actually more on the mainland, outside of Hong Kong proper. But it has a lot of alleyways, it has a lot of night markets, and so there's a lot of foot chase scenes through there where you have to, use the crowd dodging mechanic, to get through. Things can get very congested, and you have to have your wits about you, how to get there. Whereas if you head to Central, for example, the roads are a lot wider, they're a lot wider open. And, so choice of vehicle-wise, in North Point, you might use the motorbike, whereas in Central, you might use a car, to get around. So down by the docks, for example, there's a lot of waterfront gameplay, so boats come into play. We have chases across boats, like in the harbor. So it's very varied, depending on where you go.
So tell us about the content that you're showing at E3 2010.
We're showing two missions today. The one takes place in one of the night markets that I spoke about. And, that highlights, I think, the chase mechanic, that we have. So you see a lot of, our free running system is much more ground-based than in a lot of games that are out there right now. We wanted to capture that intensity and that sort of gritty realism of chases that you see in Point Break or Seven or Blade Runner, with Deckard running through the market. So that mission focuses heavily on the free running and the hand-to-hand combat system. So you encounter a group of thugs and you can see the martial arts, system in play. You can see a full offensive and defensive range of combat capabilities. You saw a counter system, which is really cool. And I think probably the best thing about it is, once you grapple someone and being able to move freely about with them and just bring the environment into play. Just sprint around with them, push them into things, throw them over the edge of rooftops. It makes it all exciting.
And the other one was more focused on the gunplay.
That's right. That was more focused on driving and gunplay together. That one, what we've tried to do there is, create a nice arcadey sort of driving model, but at the same time layer an awesome, again, like Hong Kong cinema style, action component on top of it. So what you saw there was riding on the back of a motorbike, being able to shoot freely, I guess, in any direction, being able to target, enemies, being able to target vehicles, sub-target them. You saw, the main character fly off the back of the bike and, use it as a weapon, into a bunch of enemies. So some really over-the-top action kind of stuff, which is pretty cool.
And you're drawing from a real all-star cast on this one. You've got black box guys, you've got former Rockstar. Who else have you got in the mix building the game?
Yeah, it's I think making open world games is a challenge. So we knew that from the outset, and so we wanted to get a team together that had experience doing it, so that we could make fewer of those mistakes that you tend to make making these games. So like you said, there's a lot of guys that from EA that worked on Need for Speed, worked on Skate, worked on Godfather. We've got a lot of guys from Rockstar that worked on Bully. We've got a lot of guys from Radical that worked on Scarface, on Prototype, on Hulk Ultimate Destruction. Got guys from Saints Row. So, a little bit from everywhere, and we're all pulling our collective experience together to make this a great open world experience.
So, Steve, when can people actually get their hands on True Crime? Which platforms, more important?
Okay, platforms are going to be Xbox 360, PlayStation 3, and PC. And right now, the release date is fall 2010.
All right, Steve, thank you very much for your time. And stay tuned to Gamespot for our ongoing coverage from E3 2010.